People like to judge other people a lot based on how they spend their money. It's a lot less like peer to peer. Like a 30-year-old doesn't really judge another 30-year-old because they're all kind of in the same boat. But like a 60-year-old likes to judge a 30-year-old and kind of vice versa. You know that vibe? Like, oh, why do you have all this fancy gadget shit? Like, I didn't have that when I was growing up. And I was like, well, no, it wasn't invented back then. No, but we're kind of getting to this point now where like, the plasma screen TVs are like 20 years old now. And they were real expensive back in the day too. There's this sort of generational divide where people who are maybe like one generation ahead of you and me, when they were our age, life was pretty cheap and luxuries were expensive. So you got to live in a nice normal house, but you didn't get to buy the nice stuff, the electronics and the trips and the fancy jewelry and whatever, because that stuff was expensive. You ever seen one of those inflation charts where it shows you like the cost of different things and how they've gone up and down? And it's always the same. Healthcare and education and housing goes straight up to the right for the last 25 years in inflation. And then cars and electronics and like designer clothing or whatever goes like down and to the right. And now we're in this place where today it's like expensive to buy a normal house, but it's not so bad if I want to take all my friends to Vegas this weekend because I got airline points, or, get the nice new iPhone. iPhones don't even change. Like, they're all the same. I don't even know what kind I have. They're all literally the same. There's no point in getting a new one anymore. But they're cheap. Pretty sure they're cheap. I think I did something on that once. I don't know. I haven't bought one in a while. Mine just works. But I got one. And I would probably pay whatever the heck it costs, honestly, to buy an iPhone because I spend too much time on it. Just like the rest of you. That's where we live our lives. So it's an interesting study. Food, people eat out a lot more. Like the percentage of food consumed out of the house versus inside the house has gone up dramatically. People don't know how to cook anymore. Nobody goes to the grocery store. It's like basically just as expensive for me to go to the grocery store as it is to go eat out. Because if I go to the grocery store and there's only one of me or two of me at home, what am I going to do? Cook 8 portions? Oh, meal prep? Nah, that's my generation speaking. But literally, you can go pay somebody else to cook it, stick it on a plate, clean up after your mess, be done with it. But it used to be expensive to do that. McDonald's has gone up in price, though, I will say. McDonald's has gone up. I just went there this afternoon, and 10-pack of nuggets was like $8, I think. It was kind of wild. Is that right? $8 for 10 nuggets? But that's the thing. McDonald's kind of figured out that the people who shop at McDonald's, they're not really going there to save money. Because if you're really trying to save money, go to the grocery store, in theory. People who want convenience, and they'll pay up for convenience. Like, it's cold outside right now. It is ice cold, like actually 19 degrees cold. I don't want to get out of my car. I don't want to walk through the parking lot, go inside somewhere, figure it out, get back in my car, figure it out. No. If I can drive through, I will pay up to drive through. It's a way different life experience than people had 25 years ago. They had a big, nice house. They went to the grocery store and they cooked in it. No, we all live in these tiny shacks now. But we got cool stuff. Interest rates are too high. Can't buy a house anymore. This generation is lost. It's easier than ever, though, to do a lot of things, too. Like, it's easier than ever to go buy a stock. You know how people are always like, the only way to get rich is to own something? You can just go on your iPhone and, like, buy Apple or Microsoft, like, in 2 clicks. It used to be kind of complicated to do that. Now you can be dumb as rocks. Log in, link your bank, and literally, like, buy shares in a company in 60 seconds. You used to have to like know somebody to call them and they would have to do it and set up a brokerage account and send you paper and you sign it and then you mail it back and hope it doesn't get lost. The other thing too is that, and I don't know how much this like affects people. If you're 30 years old, it's the only thing you've ever known, but we live in this information age where not only do we have access to information of like literally everything, you got Chat GPT in your pocket. But everybody's like flaunting it. They're posting pictures of what they're doing and where they've been and they're just showing you the results of, the whole life that they've built or lived or stuff they do, whatever, yada, yada. Back in the day, they used to have to go look stuff up in the library, figure out, they had to like actually think about what they wanted to find. They couldn't just stumble upon something randomly in the library. I mean, you could if you had time. You had to go find it in the library, look it up in the library. Now we got the internet. It messes with people. Then you buy stuff on Instagram ads. Whole life is an echo chamber. What a weird way to live. I think I'm going to move to the country. I've been saying this a lot lately, so I think I'm going to manifest it until it becomes true. And I think it's like doable. Become a homesteader, have my own chickens, some eggs, get some nice high-speed Wi-Fi. What a weird life to live, too. You live on a farm, but you got Wi-Fi. That's such a juxtaposition. Like, you're not supposed to have Wi-Fi on a farm. That's so messed up. But I would do it. Have some donkeys. I was going to say cattle, but that's probably a bit of a stretch. Although I could probably figure out how to do it. Get myself an ag exemption, log into the internet, see what everybody else is doing, and then keep going on my way.